This season may look like everything is slowing down, but it is not what you think. It may look like life has forgotten you. It may look like your prayers are floating somewhere with no answer. It may look like the doors that once opened easily are now staying closed. It may look like the people who once understood you no longer know how to stand beside you. It may look like the path has become silent. But what if this silence is not empty? What if this quiet time is full of messages? What if the universe is not holding you back, but holding you still so you can finally hear what your soul has been trying to say? There are seasons in life when nothing seems to move. You wake up, you try your best, you do what you can, yet something still feels unfinished. You may feel like you are standing between the life you had and the life you are waiting for. You are not where you used to be, but you are not where you want to be yet. This middle place can feel lonely. It can feel confusing. It can make you question yourself. But this middle place is often where your deepest growth begins. It is the place where old beliefs begin to break. It is the place where your heart becomes honest. It is the place where you stop pretending that everything outside of you can give you peace, and you begin to search for peace inside yourself. This season may have come with delays, distance, or endings. Something may not have worked out the way you hoped. Someone may have changed toward you. A plan may have fallen apart. A dream may feel further away than before. And because of that, you may think you are being punished, blocked, or forgotten. But sometimes life does not pause to hurt you. Sometimes life pauses to protect you. Sometimes the door closes because your energy is no longer meant for that room. Sometimes the answer does not come quickly because you are being prepared to receive it in a better way. Sometimes what feels like rejection is really redirection, and what feels like waiting is really inner training. There is a quiet lesson inside this season. It is not shouting. It is not forcing. It is not trying to scare you. It is gently asking you to look within. It is asking you to notice what you keep chasing. It is asking you to notice what you keep fearing. It is asking you to notice where you keep giving your power away. It is asking you to notice the thoughts you repeat when no one else is listening. Because the way you speak to yourself in private becomes the feeling you carry in public. If you keep telling yourself that life is unfair, that nothing works for you, that you are always late, that you are never chosen, your heart begins to close. But when you begin to say, maybe this season is teaching me, maybe I am being guided, maybe I am not lost, maybe I am being prepared, something inside you begins to soften. The universe often teaches in quiet ways. It teaches through delays. It teaches through discomfort. It teaches through the people who leave. It teaches through the plans that change. It teaches through the dreams that take longer than expected. It teaches through the moments when you are forced to stop and ask, what am I meant to learn from this? And the moment you ask that question, your pain begins to change shape. It is no longer only pain. It becomes a doorway. It becomes a mirror. It becomes a message. You may be in a season where you are learning that your worth is not based on how fast things happen. You may be learning that love does not need to be chased. You may be learning that peace cannot grow in a place where you keep betraying yourself. You may be learning that your body, mind, and soul need rest, not more pressure. You may be learning that the life you want requires a version of you who is calmer, stronger, and more honest with yourself. This is not a small lesson. This is deep work. This is the kind of work that no one sees, but everyone feels when you finally rise from it. The hook of this season is that it looks like nothing is happening, but something very important is happening inside you. You are being shown what no longer matches your spirit. You are being shown what you can no longer carry. You are being shown where you have been too hard on yourself. You are being shown the places where you still need to forgive. You are being shown the dreams that were born from fear and the dreams that were born from truth. This is why the season feels heavy. It is not only about what is changing around you. It is about what is changing within you. When life becomes quiet, many people panic. They try to fill the silence with noise. They chase answers. They force conversations. They push doors. They compare their path to others. They ask why other people seem to be moving ahead while they are still waiting. But your path is not meant to look like everyone else's path. Your timing is not a mistake. Your journey has its own rhythm. A flower does not open because another flower opened first. It opens when the light, the soil, the water, and the season are ready. In the same way, your life opens when your inner world and outer world come into alignment. This season is not here to make you feel small. It is here to help you return to yourself. It is here to remove the noise that made you forget your own voice. It is here to show you that you are not only a person trying to survive life. You are a soul learning how to trust life. You are not just waiting for something to happen. You are becoming someone who can stand with peace even before the answer arrives. That is a powerful kind of growth. The old version of you may have needed everything to happen quickly to feel safe. The old version of you may have needed constant proof, constant attention, constant control. The old version of you may have believed that if something was meant for you, it would happen without delay or discomfort. But this season is teaching a deeper truth. What is meant for you may still require patience. What is meant for you may still ask you to grow. What is meant for you may still need you to release the fear that would make you misuse it, doubt it, or run from it when it finally arrives. This is why the season may feel strange. You are not who you were, but you are still learning who you are becoming. The old things no longer bring the same comfort. The old conversations no longer feel alive. The old habits no longer hide the pain the way they used to. Something within you is waking up, and waking up can feel uncomfortable at first. It can feel like losing yourself, when really you are losing the parts that were never truly yours. You are losing the need to please everyone. You are losing the fear of being alone. You are losing the belief that you must struggle to be worthy. You are losing the habit of shrinking so others can feel comfortable. The universe is teaching you that this season is not empty. It is full of signs. It is full of quiet messages. It is full of small moments that are trying to lead you back to your own heart. Maybe the lesson is to stop rushing. Maybe the lesson is to stop blaming yourself. Maybe the lesson is to stop returning to what keeps hurting you. Maybe the lesson is to stop seeing closed doors as proof that you failed. Maybe the lesson is to understand that peace is also a form of success. Maybe the lesson is to trust that what is truly meant for your soul will not require you to lose yourself to keep it. You may not see the full picture yet. You may not understand why some things had to happen the way they did. You may still feel the ache of what changed. But even in that ache, something sacred is taking place. Your heart is becoming more aware. Your mind is becoming more careful with the thoughts it accepts. Your spirit is becoming more sensitive to what feels true and what feels heavy. You are learning to listen. You are learning to wait without giving up. You are learning to believe without needing every detail. And that is the beginning of a new kind of strength. The hidden meaning of this season is simple, but it is not always easy to accept. You are not being punished. You are being taught. You are not being forgotten. You are being guided. You are not being left behind. You are being prepared. There is a difference between a season that comes to destroy you and a season that comes to wake you up. This season is waking you up. It is waking you up to your own thoughts, your own patterns, your own needs, your own truth, and your own power. When life does not go the way you planned, the first feeling may be fear. You may think, why is this happening to me? You may think, what did I do wrong? You may think, why does it seem easy for others but so hard for me? These questions are human. They are natural. But if you stay there too long, your heart may begin to believe that life is against you. That belief can make the season feel even heavier. A more healing question is, what is this trying to show me? This question does not remove the pain right away, but it opens a new door in the mind. It helps you stop seeing yourself as a victim of the season and start seeing yourself as a student of the season. Every season has a lesson. Some seasons teach you how to begin. Some teach you how to let go. Some teach you how to speak up. Some teach you how to be silent. Some teach you how to love yourself after years of looking for love in places that could not give it. Some teach you that not every delay is a denial. Some teach you that not every loss is a mistake. Some teach you that your life can still be meaningful even when it does not look the way you expected. This season may be teaching you more than one lesson at the same time. One lesson may be patience. Not the kind of patience where you sit and do nothing while life passes by, but the kind of patience where you continue to care for yourself while life is slowly opening. Patience means you do not destroy your peace just because the answer has not arrived yet. Patience means you do not call yourself a failure just because the timing is different from what you imagined. Patience means you trust that growth takes time. A tree does not become strong in one day. A soul does not become wise in one easy moment. Strength is often built in the quiet spaces where no one is clapping, no one is watching, and no one knows how much you are carrying. Another lesson may be self-trust. This season may be asking you to stop looking outside yourself for every answer. It may be asking you to listen to that quiet feeling inside you. You know when something feels wrong, even if you try to explain it away. You know when a place feels too heavy. You know when a relationship is asking you to abandon yourself. You know when a dream is still alive, even if it scares you. Self-trust grows when you honor these inner signals. It grows when you stop making yourself wrong for feeling what you feel. It grows when you stop asking everyone else to approve what your soul already knows. This season may also be teaching forgiveness. Not only forgiveness for others, but forgiveness for yourself. You may need to forgive yourself for the years you did not know better. You may need to forgive yourself for staying too long. You may need to forgive yourself for trusting someone who did not value your heart. You may need to forgive yourself for choices you made when you were tired, afraid, lonely, or trying to survive. Forgiveness does not mean you pretend nothing happened. It means you stop using the past as a weapon against your own heart. It means you allow yourself to grow from what happened instead of staying trapped inside it. There is also a lesson of release. This season may be showing you that you cannot carry everything into the next chapter. You cannot carry every fear, every old story, every heavy memory, every unhealthy habit, and expect to feel free. Something must be placed down. Maybe it is the need to control everything. Maybe it is the need to be liked by everyone. Maybe it is the need to prove your worth through struggle. Maybe it is the need to keep explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Release is not always loud. Sometimes release is quiet. It is the moment you stop replying with the same old energy. It is the moment you stop checking for what hurt you. It is the moment you stop forcing a door that keeps closing. It is the moment you choose peace over the need to be right. This season may be showing you where your energy has been leaking. Energy leaks when you say yes while your heart is saying no. Energy leaks when you keep replaying conversations that already ended. Energy leaks when you compare your life to people whose full story you do not know. Energy leaks when you carry guilt for needing rest. Energy leaks when you keep trying to change someone who is not ready to change. The hidden lesson may be that your energy is sacred. You cannot give it to every worry, every fear, every demand, and every memory. You must learn to protect it with love. A season like this often feels heavy because it removes distractions. When life is busy, it is easy to ignore your inner world. You can hide inside work, noise, plans, messages, and other people's needs. But when life slows down, you meet yourself. You meet the sadness you avoided. You meet the fear you pushed away. You meet the truth you tried not to say. At first, this can feel uncomfortable, but meeting yourself is not a punishment. It is a return. It is the soul saying, "Come back, listen, heal." Stop running from the places that need your love. You may discover that the season is teaching you to speak to yourself differently. The words you use inside your mind matter. If you keep saying, "Nothing ever works for me," your mind begins to search for proof. If you keep saying, "I am stuck," your body begins to feel heavy. If you keep saying, "I am not enough," your choices begin to shrink. But if you gently begin to say, "I am learning, I am growing, I am open to guidance, I can take one step at a time," your inner world begins to change. The outside may not change in one moment, but your energy begins to shift. And when your energy shifts, the way you move through life shifts too. This does not mean you must deny your pain. Spiritual growth is not about pretending you are never sad, never angry, never confused, or never tired. It is not about forcing a smile over a broken place. True healing allows honesty. You can say, "This hurts," and still believe you are being guided. You can say, "I do not understand," and still stay open to learning. You can say, "I am tired," and still know that your life has meaning. The hidden meaning of this season is not that you must feel strong every day. It is that even on the days you feel weak, something wise within you is still alive. This season may be teaching you the difference between control and trust. Control says, "I must know everything now." Trust says, "I can take the next step even if I do not see the whole path." Control says, "If I do not force it, I will lose it." Trust says, "What is meant for my peace will not require me to live in fear." Control says, "I need proof before I can rest." Trust says, "I can rest while life is still unfolding." This is not easy. The mind wants certainty. The heart wants safety, but the soul grows through trust. You may be learning that some things did not work out because they were not aligned with the person you are becoming. At one time, you may have prayed for something from a place of fear. You may have wanted it because you thought it would make you feel worthy, safe, chosen, or complete. But as you grow, you begin to want different things. You begin to want peace more than attention. You begin to want truth more than comfort. You begin to want real love more than empty closeness. You begin to want a life that feels honest, not just impressive. This season may be clearing the old desires, so your heart can make space for what truly belongs. The hidden meaning may also be boundaries. Maybe this season is showing you that kindness without boundaries becomes self-abandonment. You can love people and still say no. You can care about someone and still protect your peace. You can understand someone's pain and still not allow them to keep hurting you. Boundaries are not walls built from anger. Healthy boundaries are doors built from self-respect. They decide what can enter your life and what must remain outside. This season may be teaching you that your peace needs protection, not because you are weak, but because you are valuable. There is a quiet strength growing in you now. You may not see it because it does not always look like success on the outside. It may look like crying and still getting up. It may look like choosing not to go back to what broke you. It may look like resting without guilt. It may look like speaking kindly to yourself after making a mistake. It may look like waiting without begging. It may look like trusting without chasing. These are not small things. These are signs that your inner world is changing. Sometimes the universe teaches through contrast. It shows you what feels wrong so you can understand what feels right. It shows you what drains you so you can understand what supports you. It shows you what fear creates so you can understand what love can heal. It shows you what it feels like to betray yourself so you can finally choose yourself. Contrast is not always comfortable, but it is clear. It teaches through feeling. It teaches through experience. It teaches in a way the mind cannot always explain, but the heart understands deeply. This is why you should not rush to label this season as bad. It may be uncomfortable, but uncomfortable does not always mean wrong. Growth can feel uncomfortable. Healing can feel uncomfortable. Change can feel uncomfortable. Silence can feel uncomfortable. Letting go can feel uncomfortable. But discomfort can be the sign that something old is leaving and something new is trying to form. You are not falling apart. You may be being rearranged from the inside. Your values may be changing. Your desires may be changing. Your tolerance for pain may be changing. Your understanding of love may be changing. Your idea of success may be changing. The hidden meaning of this season may be that you are learning how to come home to yourself. For so long, you may have placed your peace in the hands of people, outcomes, money, praise, approval, or control. And when those things changed, your peace changed with them. But now life is teaching you to build peace in a deeper place. A place that does not depend on someone texting back. A place that does not depend on one door opening today. A place that does not depend on everyone understanding your path. a place that stays steady because it is rooted inside you. This season is asking you to become more gentle with yourself. You do not need to shame yourself into growth. You do not need to punish yourself to become better. You do not need to speak harshly to yourself to stay disciplined. You can grow through love. You can change through kindness. You can become stronger without becoming hard. You can become wiser without losing your softness. The deepest healing often begins when you stop fighting yourself and start listening to yourself. You may feel like you are waiting for the universe to answer you, but maybe the universe is waiting for you to answer yourself. What do you really want? What are you no longer willing to carry? What kind of love do you want to give and receive? What kind of life feels true to your soul? What fear keeps controlling your choices? What belief keeps making you feel small? What would you choose if you trusted that you were supported? These questions are part of the lesson. They are not here to confuse you. They are here to bring you closer to your truth. This season is not only about what happens next. It is about who you become before what happens next. It is about how you speak to yourself while you wait. It is about how you care for your heart while life is changing. It is about whether you keep choosing old pain or begin choosing new peace. It is about whether you allow a delay to make you bitter or allow it to make you wiser. This is the hidden meaning. The season is not just shaping your future. It is shaping your inner world. Things may be slowing down because your soul needs time to catch up with the life you are asking for. Sometimes the mind wants more before the heart is ready to hold more. The mind says, I want it now. I want the answer now. I want the door to open now. I want the next chapter now. But the soul knows when something inside still needs healing. The soul knows when fear is still leading. The soul knows when your energy is still tied to the past. The soul knows when you are asking for a new life while still carrying old pain in both hands. A slowdown is not always a stop. Sometimes it is a sacred pause. It is a space where you are being given time to breathe, see clearly, and choose differently. If everything arrived too quickly, you might enter the new chapter with the same old fear. You might bring the same self-doubt into a better opportunity. You might bring the same need for approval into a healthier relationship. You might bring the same worry into a peaceful season. Then even the blessing would feel heavy because the inner pattern had not changed. This is why life sometimes slows down before it opens up. It gives you time to become ready, not just excited. Think about the times when you wanted something very badly, but later you realized you were not ready for it. Maybe you wanted it from a place of loneliness. Maybe you wanted it to prove something. Maybe you wanted it because you were afraid of being left behind. Maybe you wanted it because everyone else seemed to have it. But wanting something and being ready for it are not always the same. Readiness is deeper than desire. Readiness means your mind, heart, habits, and energy can hold what you are asking for without losing yourself inside it. Things may be slowing down because your nervous system needs peace. You may have been living in survival mode for too long, always thinking, always planning, always expecting something to go wrong, always trying to be strong, always carrying more than you admit. When you live this way for a long time, stillness can feel strange. Peace can feel unsafe. Rest can feel like guilt. Silence can feel like danger. So life may slow down, not to punish you, but to teach your body that it is safe to breathe again. It is safe to stop running. It is safe to rest without earning it. The universe may be teaching you that speed is not the same as alignment. Just because something happens quickly does not mean it is right. And just because something takes time does not mean it is wrong. Some things grow slowly because they are meant to last. A deep root does not form in a hurry. Real healing does not happen just because you decide you are done hurting. True peace does not arrive because you force your mind to be quiet. It grows little by little, choice by choice, thought by thought, breath by breath. This slowdown may be protecting you from choices you would have made out of fear. When you are anxious, you may choose too quickly. You may say yes to things that do not honor you. You may return to places you have outgrown. You may accept less than you deserve because waiting feels too painful. You may confuse movement with progress. But not all movement is progress. Sometimes moving too fast takes you deeper into confusion. Sometimes standing still for a moment saves you from a path that would drain your spirit. You may be in a waiting season because there are things you need to release before you move forward. You cannot carry old pain into a new chapter and expect it not to speak. You cannot carry deep self-doubt into a new opportunity and expect it not to question everything. You cannot carry fear of abandonment into a new connection and expect it not to create panic. You cannot carry the belief that you are not enough and expect success to feel peaceful. Life may be slowing down because it is giving you time to put down what does not belong in the next part of your journey. This does not mean you must become perfect before good things can happen. You do not need to be fully healed to receive love. You do not need to have everything figured out to take a step. You do not need to be fearless to move forward. But there are times when life gives you a pause because one part of you is still attached to something that would block your peace. The pause is not asking you to become perfect. It is asking you to become aware. Awareness changes everything. Once you can see a pattern, you can begin to choose differently. Things may be slowing down because you are being invited to stop forcing what is not flowing. Forcing has a certain feeling. It feels tight. It feels heavy. It feels like you are pushing your heart against a closed door again and again. It feels like you are trying to make someone understand you when they do not want to listen. It feels like you are trying to control every detail because you do not trust the process. Flow feels different. Flow does not always mean easy, but it carries peace. Flow feels like effort with trust, not effort with panic. Flow feels like action guided by truth, not action driven by fear. This season may be asking you to notice the difference. Where are you forcing? Where are you begging life to give you something that keeps taking your peace? Where are you trying to hold something together that keeps breaking you apart? Where are you confusing struggle with love, pressure with purpose, and fear with responsibility? These questions are not here to shame you, they are here to free you. Because the moment you stop forcing what is not meant to stay, you create space for what can meet you with peace. Slowness can be a teacher of presence. When life moves fast, you may live in tomorrow. You may keep thinking about what is next, what is missing, what you need to fix, what you need to become, what you need to achieve. But when life slows down, it brings you back to today. It asks you to notice your breath. It asks you to notice your thoughts. It asks you to notice the small gifts you used to ignore. It asks you to find meaning in simple things again. A quiet morning, a deep breath, a kind word, a moment of rest, a small step forward. These things may not look big, but they rebuild the soul. The slowdown may also be showing you what you truly value. When everything is busy, you may think you want more things, more attention, more success, more proof. But when life becomes quiet, you may realize you want peace. You want a calm mind. You want honest love. You want a home within yourself. You want to wake up without carrying fear in your chest. You want to trust your path without comparing it to everyone else's. You want to feel connected to your own spirit. This kind of clarity often comes when life stops giving you distractions. Things may be slowing down because you are being guided away from the wrong timing. Timing is one of the hardest spiritual lessons because the human mind wants control. You may believe that if something is right, it should happen when you want it. But sometimes the right thing at the wrong time can still create pain. A door may be good, but you may not be ready to walk through it with peace. A connection may be meaningful, but both sides may still need growth. An opportunity may be real, but the foundation may not be strong enough yet. Timing is not only about getting what you want. It is about being able to receive it in a way that supports your soul. This is why you should not mistake waiting for failure. Waiting can feel like nothing, but it can be filled with deep preparation. While you wait, you are learning how to handle your thoughts. You are learning how to stop making fear your guide. You are learning how to care for your body and mind. You are learning how to stop measuring your worth by outside results. You are learning how to choose faith over panic, one small moment at a time. These lessons may not appear on the outside, but they change the energy you bring into every future door. You may also be slowing down because you have been carrying too many voices. The voice of fear, the voice of family expectations, the voice of society, the voice of comparison, the voice of past pain, the voice that says you are too late, the voice that says you must hurry, the voice that says you must prove yourself. When too many voices fill your mind, it becomes hard to hear your soul. A slowdown creates space between those voices. It helps you ask, which voice is actually mine? Which belief is true? Which path feels honest? Which choice brings peace? In this space, you may begin to see that not every thought deserves your trust. Some thoughts are only old fears wearing a new face. Some thoughts are only memories trying to protect you from being hurt again. Some thoughts are only habits you learned when you did not know how loved and worthy you were. You do not have to believe every thought that passes through your mind. You can pause. You can breathe. You can ask, is this thought helping me heal, or is it keeping me trapped? That question can change the direction of your day. Things may be slowing down because you are learning to build from a stronger place. A rushed life can be built on fear. A peaceful life must be built on truth. If you build from fear, you may choose things only because you are afraid of being alone, afraid of being judged, afraid of missing out, or afraid of starting over. But if you build from truth, you choose what matches your peace. You choose what respects your energy. You choose what allows your heart to breathe. You choose what helps you become more of who you really are. This season may be asking you to build slowly so the foundation is strong. A weak foundation cannot hold a heavy blessing. If your foundation is self-doubt, even love can feel unsafe. If your foundation is fear, even success can feel stressful. If your foundation is comparison, even progress can feel like failure. If your foundation is guilt, even rest can feel wrong. So life may slow down to help you rebuild the foundation. It may help you build self-worth, self-respect, calm faith, honest boundaries, and a kinder inner voice. There is wisdom in the pause. There is healing in the waiting. There is guidance in the silence. You may not like the speed of this season, but the speed is part of the teaching. It is helping you notice what you used to overlook. It is helping you heal what you used to hide. It is helping you choose what you used to fear. It is helping you understand that life does not need to move fast to be moving in your favor. Sometimes the deepest movement is invisible. Sometimes the most important growth happens beneath the surface. Sometimes the soul is changing long before the outer life shows proof. Things are slowing down because your next chapter needs a calmer you. A version of you who does not run back to what hurts just because waiting feels lonely. A version of you who does not speak to yourself with cruelty when life feels uncertain. A version of you who knows that closed doors are not always personal. A version of you who can be patient without giving up. A version of you who can trust without needing to control every step. This version is not created in one day. It is created through seasons like this. The slowdown is teaching you that you are allowed to move gently. You do not have to rush your healing. You do not have to rush your clarity. You do not have to rush your growth. You do not have to rush into the next chapter just to prove that you are okay. There is power in taking one honest step at a time. There is strength in saying, "Today I will choose peace in one small way." There is courage in saying, "I do not know everything yet, but I am open to being guided." There is wisdom in saying, "I can wait without abandoning myself." You may feel pressure to have everything figured out. You may feel pressure to explain your season to people who do not understand it. But not every sacred change can be explained while it is happening. Some things only make sense later. Some lessons are felt before they are understood. Some growth is private before it becomes visible. You do not need to prove that this season has meaning. You only need to stay open enough to receive the meaning as it comes. The universe may be slowing things down so you can stop living only for the next result and begin living with more awareness now. Because the next result will come and go. The next door will open and lead to another lesson. The next dream will arrive and bring new growth. But the way you live inside yourself, the way you speak to yourself, the way you trust yourself, the way you care for your peace, these things will travel with you into every season. This is why the inner work matters so much. So when things slow down, do not only ask, "When will this change?" Ask, "How am I changing?" Do not only ask, "When will the door open?" Ask, "Who am I becoming while I stand here?" Do not only ask, "Why is life making me wait?" Ask, "What is this waiting teaching my heart?" These questions bring you back to your power. They remind you that even when life feels still, you are not helpless. You are growing. You are learning. You are being shaped in ways you may not fully see yet. The slowdown may be one of the most important parts of your journey. Not because it is easy, but because it is honest. It removes the rush. It removes the noise. It removes the false pressure. It brings you face to face with yourself. And in that meeting, you begin to understand that your life is not only about reaching the next place. It is also about becoming deeply connected to your own soul while you are on the way. Sometimes this season feels heavy because something is being removed from your life and your heart is still trying to understand why. You may look at what is leaving and think it is a loss. You may look at the silence, the distance, the closed door, or the sudden change and feel like something was taken from you. But not everything that leaves is meant to wound you. Some things leave because they no longer match your peace. Some things leave because they have already taught what they came to teach. Some things leave because your soul is ready for something cleaner, lighter, and more honest. The universe does not always remove things in a way that feels gentle at first. Sometimes a person becomes distant. Sometimes a plan falls apart. Sometimes a place that once felt safe begins to feel heavy. Sometimes a habit that once gave comfort begins to feel empty. Sometimes a dream that once excited you begins to feel like pressure. When this happens, it can feel confusing. You may wonder why something that once felt right no longer feels the same. You may wonder why your heart feels pulled away from what you once wanted. But this is often how inner growth begins. Your energy changes first, and then your life starts asking you to change with it. This season may be removing people who cannot go where your spirit is going. That does not always mean they are bad people. It does not always mean the connection was false. It may simply mean the season has changed. Some people belong to a chapter, not the whole book of your life. Some people meet you when you are in pain, but they cannot meet you when you begin to heal. Some people understand the old version of you, but they feel uncomfortable when you start becoming stronger, quieter, calmer, and more honest. And when your growth begins to disturb someone's control over you, distance often appears. You may try to hold on because the heart remembers the good moments. You may remember the laughter, the comfort, the history, and the hope. But your soul also remembers the heaviness. It remembers the times you had to shrink. It remembers the times you had to silence yourself. It remembers the times your peace was disturbed again and again. This season may be asking you to stop choosing memory over truth. A good memory does not always mean a present connection is healthy. A long history does not always mean a person belongs in your future. Sometimes, love must become distance so peace can return. The universe may also be removing old habits that kept you small. Maybe you used to say yes when you wanted to say no. Maybe you used to hide your feelings because you feared conflict. Maybe you used to chase attention because silence felt like rejection. Maybe you used to overthink every small thing because you did not trust life. Maybe you used to accept less because you thought less was all you could have. These habits may have helped you survive at one time, but they are not meant to guide your whole life. What once protected you can later imprison you. This season may be helping you see that. Old habits do not always leave easily. They feel familiar. Even when they hurt, they can still feel safe because you know them. The mind often chooses what is familiar before it chooses what is peaceful. This is why healing can feel strange. You may be trying to leave behind a way of living that your body has known for years. You may be learning to stop reacting the same way. You may be learning to stop running after what pulls away. You may be learning to stop explaining your worth. You may be learning to stop carrying guilt that never belonged to you. This is not weakness. This is deep change. This season may be removing false beliefs. Beliefs like, I am not enough. Beliefs like, I must work hard to deserve love. Beliefs like, if someone leaves, it means I failed. Beliefs like, my life must look perfect for me to feel worthy. Beliefs like, I am too late. These beliefs may have lived in your mind for so long that they began to feel like truth. But a belief can feel true and still be wrong. A belief can be familiar and still be painful. The universe may be placing you in situations that show you the cost of these beliefs so you can finally release them. When a false belief begins to break, it can feel like your whole identity is shaking. If you spent years believing you had to please everyone, then choosing yourself may feel selfish. If you spent years believing you had to struggle for everything, then receiving with ease may feel uncomfortable. If you spent years believing your worth came from approval, then being misunderstood may feel terrifying. But this shaking is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that something old is losing power over you. The belief is breaking because you are ready to live from a deeper truth. The universe may be removing your need to control every outcome. Control often comes from fear. It says, if I do not hold everything tightly, it will fall apart. It says, if I do not know what comes next, I cannot feel safe. It says, if I do not make this person stay, I will be alone. But control is heavy. It keeps the heart tense. It makes the mind tired. It turns life into a constant battle. This season may be teaching you that you can care deeply without controlling everything. You can take action without forcing. You can hope without gripping. You can trust without knowing every detail. This does not mean you stop caring about your life. It does not mean you sit back and do nothing. It means you learn the difference between guided action and fearful action. Guided action feels steady, even if it is difficult. Fearful action feels rushed, tight, and restless. Guided action comes from your inner truth. Fearful action comes from panic. This season may be removing the part of you that thinks panic is wisdom. It may be teaching you to slow down, breathe, and ask, am I moving from peace or am I moving from fear? The universe may be removing the need to compare. Comparison is one of the quiet ways people lose joy. You look at someone else's life and think they are ahead. You look at their success, their love, their home, their timing, their confidence, and suddenly your own path feels smaller. But you are not seeing their full journey. You are only seeing a small piece. You do not know what they had to heal. You do not know what they carry in private. You do not know what lessons are hidden behind what looks beautiful from the outside. Your path cannot be measured by someone else's clock. This season may be slowing you down so you stop living through comparison and start living through connection with yourself. Your life does not need to happen on someone else's schedule. Your growth does not need to look impressive to be real. Your healing does not need to be understood by everyone to be valid. The universe may be removing the pressure to prove that you are doing well. It may be teaching you that peace is more important than appearance. It may be teaching you that a quiet, honest life can be more powerful than a life built only to be seen. Something else that may be removed is the need to return to what keeps hurting you. When something is familiar, the heart can mistake it for home. You may go back to a person, a pattern, a thought, or a situation simply because you know it. But familiarity is not always safety. Sometimes it is only repetition. This season may be showing you the difference. It may be asking you to stop calling pain love. It may be asking you to stop calling anxiety passion. It may be asking you to stop calling survival strength. It may be asking you to choose peace even when peace feels new. The universe may be removing distractions. When you are distracted, you can avoid the truth for a long time. You can stay busy. You can keep scrolling. You can keep talking. You can keep helping everyone else. You can keep making plans. But sooner or later, the soul asks to be heard. This season may have become quiet because your inner world needs attention. The things that used to distract you may no longer work. The noise may no longer cover the ache. The old comfort may no longer feel comforting. This is not because life is becoming empty. It is because your soul wants something real. In this quiet space, you may begin to see what you have been avoiding. Maybe you have been avoiding grief. Maybe you have been avoiding a decision. Maybe you have been avoiding the truth about a relationship. Maybe you have been avoiding the truth about your own needs. Maybe you have been avoiding rest because stillness brings feelings to the surface. But the universe is not removing distractions to make you suffer. It is removing them so you can finally listen. What you avoid does not disappear. It waits. And this season may be the moment when your heart is ready to face it with more kindness. The universe may be removing the version of you that survived by abandoning yourself. Maybe you learned to be quiet to keep peace. Maybe you learned to be useful so people would keep you close. Maybe you learned to ignore your own pain because others needed you. Maybe you learned to smile when you were breaking inside. But that version of you cannot lead the next chapter. That version was strong, but tired. That version helped you survive, but now you are being invited to live with more truth. You do not need to betray yourself to be loved. You do not need to disappear to be accepted. This season may be clearing space for self-respect. Self-respect feels different from pride. Pride tries to prove. Self-respect simply knows. Self-respect says, I can love you and still not lose myself. Self-respect says, I can forgive and still choose distance. Self-respect says, I can understand your pain and still protect my peace. Self-respect says, I do not need to fight for a place where my soul is not honored. When the universe removes what keeps pulling you away from yourself, it may feel painful at first, but that pain can become freedom. You may also be losing the need to have every answer right now. The mind wants clear signs, full explanations, and exact timing. But the soul often grows one step at a time. This season may be removing the habit of demanding proof before you trust. It may be teaching you to live with gentle faith, not blind faith, but calm faith. The kind of faith that says, I do not see the full path, but I can take the next honest step. The kind of faith that says, I do not understand everything yet, but I can still care for myself today. There are things leaving your life because they are too heavy for where you are going. You may not see it yet. You may still feel attached. You may still miss what was. You may still wish things had happened differently. But one day you may understand that some removals were protection. Some endings were openings in disguise. Some closed doors saved your energy. Some lost connections returned you to yourself. Some unanswered prayers kept you from building a life that would have looked good but felt empty. This season is making room. That is the heart of it. It is making room in your mind, in your heart, in your daily life, and in your energy. A room filled with old pain has no space for new peace. A hand holding fear cannot fully receive love. A heart tied to the past cannot fully enter the present. This is why removal is sacred, even when it hurts. It clears the ground. It prepares the soil. It makes space for something more aligned with who you are becoming. Discomfort is not always a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes discomfort is a sign that something honest is rising. It is the feeling that comes when your soul can no longer ignore what your mind has been trying to explain away. It is the tightness in your chest when you know something is not right for you. It is the heaviness in your body when you keep saying yes to what drains you. It is the sadness that appears when you finally admit you have been tired for a long time. This discomfort is not here to destroy you. It is here to get your attention. Many people run from discomfort because it feels unsafe. They want to fix it quickly. They want to cover it with noise, food, work, attention, or distraction. They want to think their way out of it. They want to find a quick answer. But discomfort often carries a message that can only be heard when you stop running. If you seek it with it gently, without judging yourself, it may begin to speak. It may say, "You need rest." It may say, "You are giving too much." It may say, "You are afraid to let go." It may say, "You have outgrown this." It may say, "You need to love yourself here." The lesson behind the discomfort may be that a part of you is asking for care. Not criticism, not pressure, not shame. Care. There may be places inside you that have been ignored for years. A younger part of your heart may still feel rejected. A tired part of your mind may still feel unsafe. A soft part of your spirit may still be waiting for permission to be honest. When discomfort appears, it may be pointing to the place that needs love the most. Instead of asking, "How do I get rid of this feeling?" you can ask, "What is this feeling trying to show me?" Discomfort often grows when you are living out of alignment. Alignment means your thoughts, words, choices, and energy are moving in the same direction as your truth. When you act against your truth again and again, your inner world begins to protest. You may feel tired without knowing why. You may feel irritated by small things. You may feel restless even when nothing seems wrong. You may feel sad after spending time with certain people. Your body and spirit may be trying to tell you something your mind does not want to admit. This season may be teaching you to listen to those signs. Your body is not your enemy. Your feelings are not always problems to solve. Sometimes they are messengers. A heavy feeling can show you where your energy is being drained. A tight feeling can show you where fear is controlling you. A peaceful feeling can show you what is aligned. A repeated feeling can show you what needs attention. When you begin to listen with kindness, you stop fighting yourself. You stop treating your inner signals as weakness. You begin to understand that your soul has been speaking all along. The discomfort may be showing you where you need boundaries. If you feel drained every time you say yes, the lesson may be to say no. If you feel small every time you hide your truth, the lesson may be to speak with honesty. If you feel anxious every time you chase someone's approval, the lesson may be to return your power to yourself. Boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first because they may be new. If you were used to pleasing others, protecting your peace may feel wrong. But discomfort does not always mean you are doing something wrong. Sometimes it means you are doing something new. A new level of self-love can feel uncomfortable when you are used to self-abandonment. Choosing yourself can feel strange if you spent years choosing everyone else first. Rest can feel uncomfortable if you were taught that your worth comes from being useful. Receiving help can feel uncomfortable if you were taught to handle everything alone. Being honest can feel uncomfortable if you were taught that your feelings were too much. This is why growth often feels like discomfort. You are stepping out of an old pattern, and the old pattern does not release you without protest. The lesson may also be courage. Not the loud kind of courage that looks strong to everyone else, but the quiet kind that happens inside. The courage to admit what hurts. The courage to stop pretending. The courage to walk away from what drains you. The courage to begin again. The courage to forgive yourself. The courage to rest. The courage to believe that your life can change, even if the change is slow. This kind of courage is not always seen, but it is deeply powerful. Discomfort may be showing you where you have been trying to control life instead of trust it. When you do not know what comes next, fear can rise. The mind may start creating stories. It may tell you that nothing will work. It may tell you that you are behind. It may tell you that silence means rejection. It may tell you that a delay means failure. But these stories are not always truth. They are often fear trying to protect you from disappointment. The lesson is to notice the story without becoming trapped inside it. You can feel discomfort and still choose peace. You can feel fear and still take a gentle step. You can feel sadness and still speak kindly to yourself. You can feel unsure and still trust that you are learning. The goal is not to erase every difficult feeling. The goal is to stop letting every difficult feeling become the leader of your life. Feelings are real, but they are not always always final. They can move, they can shift, they can teach, they can pass through when you stop turning them into your identity. This season may be teaching you that healing is not always soft and easy. Sometimes healing feels like finally seeing what you did not want to see. It feels like accepting that a chapter is over. It feels like admitting that a dream needs to change. It feels like realizing that you were not loved the way you needed. It feels like facing the truth that you have been hard on yourself for too long. These moments can hurt, but they can also free you. Truth may sting at first, but lies slowly drain the spirit. Healing begins when you stop protecting the illusion and start honoring the truth. There may be discomfort because you are grieving. Grief is not only about losing a person. You can grieve a version of yourself. You can grieve a dream. You can grieve a home, a friendship, a plan, a belief, or a time in your life. You can grieve what you hoped something would become. You can grieve the love you gave and did not receive back. You can grieve the years you spent trying to be enough for the wrong things. If grief is present, do not shame it. Grief means something mattered. It means your heart is processing change. It means you are human. The lesson behind grief is not to stay in the past forever. The lesson is to let the heart feel what it needs to feel so it can open again without carrying the same weight. When grief is ignored, it becomes heaviness. When grief is honored, it becomes softness, wisdom, and compassion. You do not need to rush it. You do not need to explain it to everyone. You do not need to make it look neat. You only need to be honest with yourself. Something changed, and your heart needs time to understand that change. Discomfort can also reveal where you are still seeking love in painful places. Maybe you keep hoping someone will finally see your worth. Maybe you keep waiting for an apology that may never come. Maybe you keep trying to earn care from people who only give it when it benefits them. Maybe you keep going back to a situation that gives small comfort but deep confusion. The discomfort is not there to shame you. It is there to show you that your heart is hungry for love, but it may be looking for it where it cannot be fed. This season may be guiding you back to self-love. Self-love is not just saying kind words in the mirror. It is how you treat yourself when life is uncertain. It is whether you abandon yourself when someone else pulls away. It is whether you punish yourself for needing time. It is whether you honor your limits. It is whether you allow yourself to be a human being, not a machine. Self-love is the daily practice of choosing not to become cruel to yourself even when you are hurt. The discomfort may be asking you to forgive yourself for not knowing sooner. You may look back and see choices you would not make now. You may wonder why you stayed, why you accepted, why you feared, why you waited, why you gave so much. But the past version of you was working with the awareness, strength, and tools available at that time. You can learn from the past without attacking yourself for it. You can take responsibility without carrying shame forever. You can grow without turning your old pain into a life sentence. Sometimes the discomfort comes because your soul is expanding. A bigger life requires a bigger inner space. More peace requires less attachment to chaos. More love requires less fear of being seen. More purpose requires less hiding. More freedom requires less guilt. As you expand, the old ways feel tight. They no longer fit. That tightness can be uncomfortable, but it is also proof that you are outgrowing something. You are not meant to stay in the same inner room forever. Your spirit is asking for more space. This is why you may feel drawn to change, even if you are afraid of it. Something inside you knows you cannot keep living the same way. You cannot keep thinking the same thoughts, choosing the same pain, and expecting a different peace. The discomfort is not only showing you what hurts, it is showing you what is ready to change. It is an invitation to become more honest. It is an invitation to soften where you have become hard. It is an invitation to stand up where you have stayed silent. It is an invitation to stop making your life smaller than your soul. The lesson behind the discomfort may be surrender. Surrender does not mean given. G up. It means releasing the fight with what is already trying to change. It means you stop gripping the old chapter so tightly that your hands cannot receive the new one. It means you allow life to show you a path you did not plan. It means you stop demanding that the answer arrive in one exact form. Surrender is not weakness. It takes great strength to trust when the mind wants to control. You may not understand the discomfort today. You may only feel it. That is enough for now. You do not need to solve your whole life in one moment. You can begin by listening. You can begin by breathing. You can begin by asking what your heart needs. You can begin by taking one honest step away from what drains you and one honest step toward what brings peace. Small steps matter. A healed life is often built through small choices repeated with love. The discomfort is not the end of your story. It is a teacher in this season. It is showing where healing is needed, where truth is rising, where change is calling, and where your spirit is ready to grow. Do not hate the feeling before you understand the message. Do not run from the ache before you ask what it is trying to reveal. Inside the discomfort, there may be a doorway, and through that doorway, you may meet a version of yourself who is more honest, more peaceful, and more free than before. Your thoughts are not small things. They are the words your inner world hears every day. They shape the way you see your life, the way you feel in your body, the way you respond to challenges, and the way you understand this season. If your mind keeps repeating fear, your heart begins to live as if danger is always near. If your mind keeps repeating doubt, your choices begin to shrink. If your mind keeps repeating that life is against you, you may stop noticing the quiet ways life is guiding you. This is why your thoughts matter so deeply in this season. A thought may seem private, but it creates an inner atmosphere. If you walk through the day telling yourself, "I am stuck," the day feels heavier. If you tell yourself, "Nothing is changing," you may miss the small signs of growth. If you tell yourself, "I am behind," even your progress may feel like failure. But if you begin to say, "I am learning in this season," the energy changes. If you say, "I can take one step today," your body feels more open. If you say, "I am being guided even when I do not see everything," your heart begins to breathe. This does not mean you must pretend that everything is easy. You do not need to lie to yourself. You do not need to deny pain, confusion, or fear. Spiritual growth is not about forcing happy thoughts over real feelings. It is about choosing thoughts that support healing instead of thoughts that deepen the wound. There is a difference between saying, "This hurts and I am learning through it," and saying, "This hurts, so my life is ruined." One thought gives the pain a place to move. The other thought, too, turns pain into a prison. In this season, your mind may try to explain everything through fear. Fear speaks quickly. It says, "This delay means nothing is coming." It says, "This silence means you are forgotten." It says, "This ending means you failed." It says, "This confusion means you are lost." Fear loves final answers. It tries to close the story before life has finished writing the next page. But you do not have to believe every fearful thought. You can pause and ask, "Is this truth, or is this fear speaking from an old wound?" That question is powerful because it creates space. Without space, a thought becomes your whole reality. With space, a thought becomes something you can observe. You can notice it, breathe through it, and choose whether it deserves your attention. You may not be able to stop every thought from appearing, but you can decide which thoughts you feed. A fearful thought grows when you repeat it, argue with it, and build your day around it. A healing thought grows when you practice it gently, even before you fully believe it. This season may be teaching you to become more aware of your inner language. The words "always" and "never" can be heavy. I always fail. People never stay. Nothing ever changes. I am always behind. These words make one moment feel like your whole life. They turn a painful season into a permanent identity. But this season is not your whole life. This moment is not your final truth. You can change the language. You can say, "This is difficult, but it is not forever." You can say, "I have been hurt, but I am still healing." You can say, "Some things have not worked out, but new doors can still open." The mind needs direction. If you do not guide it, it may return to old patterns. It may return to worry because worry feels familiar. It may return to self-blame because that is what it learned. It may return to doubt because hope feels risky. This is why gentle practice matters. A new thought may not feel natural at first. It may feel strange to speak kindly to yourself if you are used to being harsh. It may feel strange to trust if you are used to expecting disappointment. But repetition creates a new path inside you. Your thoughts shape your energy, and your energy shapes the way you move. When your inner words are cruel, your body tightens. You may feel tired, defensive, or hopeless. You may avoid opportunities because you believe you are not ready. You may accept less because you believe that is all you deserve. You may push away support because you believe it will not last. But when your inner words become kinder, you begin to stand differently. You begin to choose differently. You begin to notice what supports you. You begin to move through life with more calm. This is why this season is asking you to stop speaking to yourself like an enemy. You have carried enough. You have judged yourself enough. You have replayed the past enough. You have turned your mistakes over in your mind enough. What if this season is not asking you to be harder on yourself? What if it is asking you to be more loving? What if the next step is not more pressure, but more care? A harsh inner voice may push you for a short time, but it cannot heal you. Healing needs honesty, but it also needs compassion. The thoughts you choose during a delay are especially important. Waiting can make the mind restless. It may search for problems. It may imagine the worst. It may compare your timing to others. It may say, "Why is it taking so long?" But waiting can become sacred when your thoughts become softer. Instead of saying, "I am being blocked," you can say, "I am being prepared." Instead of saying, "Nothing is happening," you can say, "Something is growing, even if I cannot see it yet." Instead of saying, "I am falling behind," you can say, "My path has its own timing." These are not empty words. They are seeds. Every thought you repeat plants something inside you. Some thoughts plant fear. Some thoughts plant peace. Some thoughts plant shame. Some thoughts plant courage. Some thoughts plant bitterness. Some thoughts plant trust. You may not see the result immediately, just like a seed does not become a tree in one day. But over time, the thoughts you water begin to shape your inner world. This is why you must be careful with what you keep repeating. In this season, notice what you say after something disappointing happens. That moment matters. When a door closes, do you say, "This proves nothing works for me"? Or do you say, "This door was not aligned, and I am open to what is better for my peace"? When someone pulls away, do you say, "I am not worth staying for"? Or do you say, "My worth is not decided by someone's ability to see it"? When a plan changes, do you say, "Everything is ruined"? Or do you say, "I can adjust, and I am still being guided"? The first thought may be fear. The second thought may be healing. It is normal if the fearful thought comes first. Do not shame yourself for that. The mind often repeats what it has practiced the longest, but after the fear comes, you can choose the next thought. That next thought is where your power begins. You can say, I hear this fear, but I do not have to follow it. You can say, I feel uncertain, but I can still stay kind to myself. You can say, I do not understand this yet, but I will not use it as proof that I am unloved or forgotten. These small inner choices slowly change the way you experience the season. Your thoughts also shape what you notice. If you believe life is only taking from you, you may only notice what is missing. You may miss the support that is present. You may miss the strength growing inside you. You may miss the peace that comes from leaving the wrong place. You may miss the small signs that show you are changing. But if you believe this season is teaching you, you begin to look for the lesson. You begin to see meaning in the pause. You begin to see guidance in the close, a door. You begin to see protection in what did not work out. The same situation can feel different depending on the thought you place around it. A delay can feel like failure, or it can feel like preparation. An ending can feel like rejection, or it can feel like release. Silence can feel like abandonment, or it can feel like an invitation to listen within. Discomfort can feel like punishment, or it can feel like a message from your soul. The situation may not change immediately, but your relationship to it changes. And when your relationship to the season changes, your heart becomes less trapped by fear. This season may be asking you to stop giving old thoughts new authority. Some of your thoughts may not even belong to the person you are now. They may come from childhood. They may come from past rejection. They may come from people who did not understand you. They may come from moments when you felt unsafe. They may come from old pain trying to protect you. But just because a thought has been with you for years does not mean it deserves to lead you today. You can thank it for trying to protect you and still choose a new way. A healing thought does not have to be big. It can be simple. I am allowed to take one step. I can be kind to myself today. I do not have to know everything right now. My worth is not lost because something changed. I can learn from this. I can choose peace in this moment. These thoughts may seem small, but they are powerful when repeated with feeling. They become a gentle hand on your own heart. They remind you that you are not powerless inside your own mind. Your thoughts are also connected to your words. What you speak over your life matters. If you constantly say, I am tired of everything, your spirit hears that. If you constantly say, nothing good happens for me, your heart begins to close. If you constantly say, I cannot handle this, your body may feel weaker. But when you speak with care, you create a different inner response. You can say, this is hard, but I can move through it. You can say, I am tired and I will give myself care. You can say, I do not see the answer yet, but I am open to guidance. Words do not need to be dramatic to be powerful. Simple words spoken with trust can shift your day. The goal is not to control the universe with words. The goal is to align your inner world with healing, faith, and self-respect. When your words become kinder, your choices often become kinder too. You stop choosing from panic. You stop saying yes out of guilt. You stop chasing what keeps hurting you. You stop calling yourself weak for needing rest. You begin to move from a place of inner support. This season may test your thoughts because uncertainty reveals what you truly believe. It is easy to think positively when everything is clear. It is easy to trust when doors are open. It is easy to feel guided when answers come quickly, but why? When life becomes quiet, your deeper beliefs rise to the surface. Do you believe you are still worthy when nothing is happening? Do you believe you are still guided when the path is unclear? Do you believe your life has meaning even in the waiting? These questions show where healing is needed. If you discover that your thoughts are fearful, do not judge yourself. Awareness is not failure. Awareness is a doorway. You cannot change what you refuse to see. Once you notice the thought, you can begin to soften it. You can ask where it came from. You can ask whether it is true. You can ask whether it supports the life you want to build. You can ask what a more loving thought would sound like. This is how inner change begins. Not through force, but through awareness and practice. Your thoughts shape how you treat yourself in this season. If you believe you are failing, you may punish yourself. If you believe you are being prepared, you may care for yourself. If you believe you are behind, you may rush and make choices from fear. If you believe your timing has meaning, you may move with more peace. If you believe an ending means you are unworthy, you may beg for what should be released. If you believe an ending can be protection, you may grieve and still choose yourself. This does not mean every thought must be perfect. You are human. Your mind will have heavy days. Some mornings will feel lighter than others. Some nights will bring worry. Some memories will still sting. But a heavy thought does not erase your growth. What matters is the direction you keep returning to. Each time you return to kindness, you strengthen it. Each time you return to trust, you deepen it. Each time you return to self-respect, you build a new inner home. In this season, let your thoughts become a place of shelter, not a place of attack. The world may be uncertain, but your inner voice can still become gentle. Life may be changing, but you can still speak to yourself with care. The path may not be clear, but you can still remind yourself that one step is enough for today. You do not need to understand the whole lesson at once. You only need to stop using your own mind as a battlefield. The universe is teaching you through this season. but your thoughts decide whether you hear the lesson as punishment or guidance. The same silence can either make you feel abandoned or invite you into deeper trust. The same delay can either make you feel rejected or invite you into patience. The same discomfort can either make you feel broken or invite you into healing. Your thoughts do not change every event overnight, but they change the meaning you give to the event. And meaning changes how you carry it. So begin gently. Notice the thought. Question the fear. Choose a kinder word. Speak to yourself as someone who is learning, not someone who is failing. Remind your heart that this season has meaning, even when the meaning is still unfolding. Let your inner language become softer, clearer, and more supportive. Because the way you think in this season is not only helping you survive it, it is shaping the person you are becoming through it. Guidance does not always arrive like a loud answer. It does not always come as a clear voice, a sudden miracle, or a perfect sign that removes every doubt. Many times, guidance comes softly. It comes through a small feeling in your heart. It comes through a repeated thought that will not leave you. It comes through a deep sense that something is no longer right for you. It comes through a quiet peace around one choice and a heavy feeling around another. It comes through the door that closes, the delay that protects you, the person who leaves, or the moment that makes you stop and look at your life in a new way. You may think you are not being guided because you do not have the full answer yet. But guidance is not always the full path. Sometimes guidance is only the next step. You may not know where the whole road is going, but you may know what feels honest today. You may not know how everything will work out, but you may know what you can no longer carry. You may not know what the next chapter looks like, but you may know that the old one no longer feels like home. That knowing is guidance. It may be quiet, but it is real. One sign that you are being guided is that certain things no longer feel the same. A place that once felt comfortable may now feel heavy. A habit that once helped you escape may now feel empty. A conversation that once excited you may now drain your spirit. A dream that once looked beautiful may no longer match your peace. This does not mean you are confused. It may mean you are changing. Your soul is beginning to speak louder than your old patterns. What used to fit the old version of you may not fit the person you are becoming. Another sign is repeated inner discomfort. Not every discomfort is bad. Sometimes discomfort is a message. If the same feeling keeps coming back, it may be asking for your attention. Maybe you keep feeling tired around certain people. Maybe you keep feeling uneasy about a choice. Maybe you keep feeling called to rest, change, speak up, or let go. The mind may try to ignore it, but the feeling returns. This is often how guidance works. It gently repeats itself until you are ready to listen. You may also notice that life keeps bringing the same lesson in different forms. Different people may show you the same pattern. Different situations may bring up the same fear. Different endings may point to the same wound. At first, this may feel frustrating. You may ask why the same kind of pain keeps appearing. But maybe the lesson is not here to hurt you again. Maybe it is here because it has not been fully understood yet. When the same lesson returns, life may be asking you to respond differently this time. Not from fear, not from old pain, not from the need to prove yourself, but from wisdom. Guidance can also come through peace. Many people exploit ECT guidance to feel exciting, dramatic, or urgent. But true guidance often feels calm. It may not make sense to everyone around you, but it gives your heart room to breathe. It may not be the easiest choice, but it feels clean. It may not promise quick results, but it feels honest. Peace is a powerful sign. A peaceful choice may still require courage, but it does not pull you away from yourself. It brings you closer to who you really are. Sometimes the sign is the closed door. This can be hard to accept because the heart may still want what was behind that door. But some doors close because they are not aligned with your peace. Some doors close because you were about to settle. Some doors close because the timing was not right. Some doors close because the path would have taken more from you than it gave. A closed door is not always rejection. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is life saying, "Not this way, there is another path." Guidance may also appear as delay. When something takes longer than expected, the mind may panic. It may say, "This means I failed." It may say, "This means nothing is coming." But a delay can be a sign that something is still being prepared. Maybe your heart needs more healing. Maybe your mind needs more peace. Maybe the situation needs more time to align. Maybe what you asked for would have been too heavy if it came before you were ready. The delay may not be against you. It may be shaping you. Another sign of guidance is when truth becomes impossible to ignore. You may have tried to explain something away for a long time. You may have told yourself it was fine. You may have made excuses for someone. You may have ignored your own tiredness. You may have stayed in a situation because leaving felt too hard. But then one day the truth becomes clear. You cannot pretend anymore. You cannot shrink anymore. You cannot keep betraying yourself and call it love. That moment of truth may feel painful, but it is also a gift. It brings you back to yourself. You may be guided through the people who leave your life. This does not always feel like guidance at first. It may feel like loss, rejection, or abandonment. But sometimes someone leaving creates the space you did not know you needed. It may give you back your energy. It may help you hear your own thoughts again. It may show you how much you were carrying. It may help you see that you were holding on to something that had already stopped feeding your spirit. Not every goodbye is a punishment. Some goodbyes are openings. You may also be guided through what stays. In a season of change, pay attention to what still brings peace. Notice the small things that support you. Notice the people who make you feel safe to be honest. Notice the practices that help your mind become calm. Notice the places where your body relaxes. Notice the thoughts that give you strength without making you deny why. Our feelings. Guidance is not only found in what leaves, it is also found in what remains steady. There are times when guidance feels like a deep inner pull. You may not have all the facts. You may not be able to explain it perfectly, but something within you keeps pointing in one direction. It may be a pull toward healing. It may be a pull toward a new habit. It may be a pull toward rest. It may be a pull toward a dream that still lives in your heart. This inner pull is not always loud, but it has a steady feeling. It does not scream. It simply keeps returning. You may also receive guidance through a sudden sense of clarity. For a long time you may feel unsure. Then one day, something becomes simple. You see what you need to do. You see what you need to stop doing. You see what you can no longer accept. You see where your peace has been missing. This kind of clarity often comes after a season of confusion. The confusion was not meaningless. It was part of the clearing. It helped bring hidden feelings to the surface so the truth could finally be seen. Guidance can come through your body too. Your body often notices what your mind tries to deny. It may tighten when something is not right. It may feel calm when something is true. It may feel tired when you keep giving too much. It may feel light when you finally choose yourself. Your body is not only carrying you through life, it is speaking to you. It can show you where peace is present and where your energy is being drained. Learning to listen to your body is part of learning to trust yourself. In this season, do not dismiss small signs because they are not dramatic. A repeated feeling matters. A quiet thought matters. A peaceful moment matters. A closed door matters. A new desire matters. A sudden need for rest matters. Life does not always guide through big events. Sometimes it guides through small details. The question is not whether guidance is present. The question is whether you are quiet enough to notice it. You may not receive the whole answer because you are not meant to carry the whole future at once. Sometimes knowing too much would make you anxious. Sometimes seeing the full road would make you rush, control, or fear the process. So guidance comes step by step. One choice, one lesson, one release, one moment of courage, one deeper breath. You may want the map, but the season may be teaching you to trust the light you have right now. The sign you are being guided is not always that life feels easy. Sometimes the sign is that life keeps bringing you back to what is true. It removes what is false. It makes old patterns uncomfortable. It closes the doors that would keep you small. It opens your eyes to what you used to ignore. It softens your heart where you became hard. It strengthens your voice where you became silent. It teaches you to choose peace even when fear asks you to choose the familiar. So when you feel lost, do not only look outside for proof, look within. Ask what feels heavy. Ask what feels peaceful. Ask what keeps repeating. Ask what life is showing you through this season. Ask what your soul has been trying to say. The answer may not come in one moment, but it will begin to rise. Guidance is already present. It may be softer than you expected, but it is still leading you. This season is asking you to stop forcing what is not flowing. There is a deep difference between effort and force. Effort feels honest. Effort means you are showing up, taking steps, caring about your growth, and doing what you can. Force feels heavy. Force means you are pushing against something again and again while your peace is slowly leaving. Force means you are trying to make a door open that keeps closing. Force means you are trying to keep a connection alive when your soul already knows it is draining you. Force means you are trying to control the path because you are afraid to trust the process. You must stop chasing what makes you lose yourself. If something requires you to forget your worth, silence your truth, or beg for basic care, it is not feeding your spirit. You may want it badly, but wanting something does not always mean it is good for you. Sometimes you chase because you are afraid of being alone. Sometimes you chase because you want proof that you are enough. Sometimes you chase because the old wound inside you wants to be chosen. But your worth cannot be healed by chasing someone or something that keeps moving away from your peace. You must stop calling anxiety a sign of love. Love may challenge you, but it should not keep your soul in constant fear. Love may require patience, but it should not require self-abandonment. Love may grow slowly, but it should not make you feel invisible. If something keeps you confused, small, and afraid, it is not the kind of peace your soul is seeking. This season is teaching you to stop mistaking emotional highs and lows for deep connection. Peace may feel unfamiliar at first, but peace is not boring. Peace is safe. Peace is healing. You must stop comparing your timing to others. Comparison can steal the meaning from your own journey. You look at someone else and think they are ahead. You see their success, their relationship, their confidence, or their progress, and suddenly your own season feels wrong. But you do not know the hidden parts of their path. You do not know what they had to release. You do not know what they face when no one is watching. Your life is not late because it does not match someone else's life. Your timing has its own lessons, its own openings, and its own rhythm. You must stop judging your waiting season as wasted time. Waiting does not mean nothing is happening. Waiting may be where your heart learns patience. Waiting may be where your mind learns peace. Waiting may be where your soul becomes strong enough for what comes next. If you keep calling this season useless, you may miss the lesson inside it. You may miss the growth that is happening quietly. You may miss the strength being built beneath the surface. You may miss the way life is preparing you for a better direction. You must stop speaking to yourself with cruelty. You cannot heal deeply while attacking yourself every day. You cannot grow in peace while your inner voice keeps calling you weak, late, broken, or unworthy. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe you stayed too long. Maybe you trusted the wrong thing. Maybe you allowed fear to lead for a time. But shame will not help you become free. Harsh words may create pressure, but they do not create healing. This season is asking you to become a safe place for yourself. You must stop carrying guilt that does not belong to you. You are allowed to choose rest. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to outgrow places and patterns. You are allowed to protect your peace even if others do not understand. Guilt often appears when you begin to break old patterns. If you were used to pleasing people, choosing yourself may feel wrong, but that does not mean it is wrong. It may only mean it is new. Do not return to self-abandonment just because self-respect feels unfamiliar. You must stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. There are some people who will only hear you through their own fears, judgments, or needs. You can speak clearly, gently, and honestly, and they may still not understand. This does not mean your truth is weak. It means not everyone has the space to receive it. Sometimes peace begins when you stop trying to win understanding from people who benefit from your silence. Your life does not need to be approved by everyone to be real. You must stop going back to the same pain and calling it hope. Hope is beautiful when it opens your heart, but hope can become a trap when it keeps you tied to something that keeps hurting you. If a pattern has shown you again and again that it drains your spirit, listen. If a door has closed many times, do not keep cutting your hands trying to open it. If a connection keeps asking you to lose yourself, do not call that love. This season is asking you to choose truth over fantasy. It is asking you to stop living on the promise of what could be while ignoring what is. You must stop trying to control every detail. Control may feel like safety, but it often creates more fear. The more you try to control, the more you notice what you cannot control. The more you grip, the more tired your heart becomes. You are not meant to carry the whole universe on your shoulders. You are meant to take the next honest step and allow life to meet you there. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop turning care into fear. It means you act from wisdom, not panic. You must stop rushing your healing. Healing is not a race. It does not happen just because you are tired of feeling pain. It happens as you learn, feel, release, and choose differently. Some days will feel strong. Some days will feel tender. Some memories may still come back. Some feelings may still rise. That does not mean you are back at the beginning. It means you are human. Be patient with the parts of you that are still learning how to feel safe. You must stop believing that a hard season means you are failing. Sometimes the hardest seasons are the ones that shape you most deeply. They teach you what matters. They show you where you have been living from fear. They help you become more honest. They make you stronger in quiet ways. The fact that this season is difficult does not mean you are doing life wrong. It may mean you are being invited into deeper growth. Growth is not always comfortable, but it can be deeply meaningful. You must stop shrinking to keep others comfortable. If your growth makes someone uncomfortable, that does not mean your growth is wrong. If your boundaries disappoint someone, that does not mean your boundaries are cruel. If your peace requires distance, that does not mean you are unloving. You are not here to become small, so other people never have to face their own feelings. You are here to live truthfully, kindly, and with respect for your own soul. You must stop waiting for perfect clarity before you take one small step. Sometimes clarity comes after movement, not before it. You may not know the whole path, but you may know the next right thing. You may know that you need rest. You may know that you need to stop replying to old pain. You may know that you need to speak kindly to yourself today. You may know that you need to clean your space, write your thoughts, take a walk, pray, breathe, or release one heavy thought. Small steps open the path. You must stop treating silence as abandonment. Silence can feel painful, especially when you are waiting for answers. But silence is not always empty. Sometimes silence is where you hear yourself again. Sometimes silence is where your heart stops reacting and starts understanding. Sometimes silence is where the noise falls away so guidance can become clear. Do not fear every quiet moment. Some quiet moments are sacred. Some quiet moments are helping you return to your own center. You must stop believing that you are behind. Behind what? Behind whose schedule? Behind whose idea of life? Your path is not a race against someone else's story. The things meant for your soul are not lost because they did not arrive on the date you imagined. Life may be slower than you wanted, but slow does not mean wrong. Slow can be steady. Slow can be deep. Slow can be strong. Slow can be preparing something that would not survive if it came too fast. You must stop looking only at what is missing. When the mind focuses only on what is absent, the heart forgets what is still present. You may not have the answer yet, but you may have breath. You may have another day. You may have a lesson. You may have a small sign. You may have a chance to choose differently. You may have a quiet strength you did not know was growing. Gratitude does not deny pain. It simply reminds your heart that pain is not the only thing here. This season is not asking you to become perfect. It is asking you to become more aware. Stop forcing. Stop chasing. Stop comparing. Stop attacking yourself. Stop living inside old stories that make you feel small. Stop giving your energy to what keeps pulling you away from peace. Every time you stop one old pattern, you create space for a new way of being. That space may feel empty at first, but it is not empty. It is open. And in that openness, something better can begin to grow. In this season, you should practice asking a better question. Instead of only asking, "Why is this happening to me?" begin asking, "What is this teaching me?" This simple question can change the way you carry the season. It does not deny the pain. It does not pretend everything is easy. It simply opens your heart to meaning. When you ask what life is teaching you, you stop seeing yourself as powerless. You become a learner. You become aware. You begin to look for wisdom inside the experience instead of only looking for a way to escape it. Practice self-love in small, real ways. Self-love is not only a beautiful idea. It is how you treat yourself when life feels uncertain. It is choosing rest when you are tired. It is speaking gently to yourself after a mistake. It is drinking water, breathing deeply, and giving your body care. It is saying no when your heart is already heavy. It is not begging for love from places that keep hurting you. It is not using your past as proof that you are unworthy. Self-love is the daily choice to stay on your own side. Practice patience. Not passive patience, but peaceful patience. Passive patience sits in fear and waits for life to change. Peaceful patience cares for the present while the future unfolds. It says, "I do not have the full answer yet, but I can still live today with grace." It says, "I can take the next step without forcing the whole path." It says, "I can wait without turning against myself." Patience is not weakness. It is strength that has learned how to breathe. Practice gratitude even in simple ways. Gratitude does not mean you are thankful for pain. It means you are willing to notice the light that still exists even while you are healing. Be grateful for one breath, one lesson, one sign, one moment of calm, one person who truly cares, one chance to begin again. Gratitude helps your heart stop living only in what is missing. It brings your mind back to what is still supporting you. A grateful heart can hold hope without denying reality. Practice forgiveness. Begin with yourself. Forgive yourself for not knowing sooner. Forgive yourself for staying too long. Forgive yourself for trusting too easily or not trusting enough. Forgive yourself for the choices you made from fear. Forgive yourself for the days you were tired, read, and did not show up the way you wanted. Forgiveness does not erase responsibility. It removes the poison of shame. It allows you to learn without hating who you were before you learned. Practice releasing what no longer feeds your peace. You do not have to release everything in one dramatic moment. Sometimes release is gentle. It is choosing not to answer the thought that pulls you into fear. It is choosing not to reopen the wound by checking on what hurt you. It is choosing not to explain yourself again when your truth has already been spoken. It is choosing not to return to a place that keeps making you question your worth. Release can happen one small choice at a time. Practice trust. Trust does not mean you always feel certain. Trust means you keep your heart open even when you do not know every detail. Trust means you believe that a delay can still have meaning. Trust means you believe that a closed door can still protect you. Trust means you believe that life can guide you through quiet steps. Trust means you do not need to force everything to feel safe. You can take action and still allow space for life to unfold. Practice listening to your inner voice. The world is full of noise. People will tell you what to do, what to want, how fast to move, and what your life should look like. But your soul speaks in a quieter way. It speaks through peace. It speaks through heaviness. It speaks through repeated feelings. It speaks through honest desire. It speaks through the quiet knowing that something is right or wrong for you. If you never slow down, you may miss it. Give yourself moments of stillness so you can hear what is true. Practice choosing peace over proof. You do not need to prove your worth to people who cannot see it. You do not need to prove that your path has meaning. You do not need to prove that you are healing. You do not need to prove that you are strong. Peace often begins when you stop performing for the outside world and start being honest with your own heart. Let your life become less about proving and more about aligning. Let your choices come from truth, not from the need to be seen. Practice speaking words that heal. Your words shape the room inside your mind. Say, I am learning. Say, I can take one step. Say, I am allowed to rest. Say, my worth is not gone because something changed. Say, I can choose peace today. Say, I am open to guidance. These words are simple, but they can soften the nervous system and steady the heart. Speak to yourself as someone you are responsible for loving. Practice becoming present. The mind may keep running into the past or the future. It may replay what happened. It may fear what could happen. But your power is in this moment, this breath, this choice, this thought, this small act of care. You cannot heal the whole past today. You cannot control the whole future today, but you can meet this moment with more kindness. You can do one thing that brings peace. You can choose one thought that supports healing. You can take one step that respects your spirit. Practice making space. Space in your mind. Space in your schedule. Space in your relationships. Space in your home. Space in your heart. A crowded life can make it hard to hear guidance. You may need less noise, less rushing, less explaining, less chasing, less carrying what is not yours. When you create space, you allow new energy to enter. You allow clarity to rise. You allow peace to become easier to feel. Sometimes the next blessing does not need more effort. It needs more room. Practice seeing endings differently. Not every ending is a failure. Some endings are completions. Some endings are protections. Some endings are invitations to return to yourself. When something ends, you are allowed to grieve. You are allowed to miss it. You are allowed to feel the ache. But do not let the ending convince you that your life is over. An ending can be painful and still be necessary. It can break your heart open and still lead you closer to truth. Practice gentle discipline. This means showing up for yourself without cruelty. It means doing what supports your growth even when your old patterns call you back. It means choosing a healing thought, taking care of your body, keeping a promise to yourself, or protecting your peace. Gentle discipline does not say, you are bad if you fail. It says, come back, try again. You are worth the effort. This kind of discipline is rooted in love, not punishment. Practice trusting your season without needing everyone to understand it. Some people may not understand why you are changing. They may not understand why you are quieter. They may not understand why you are setting boundaries. They may not understand why you are no longer available for the same old patterns. That is okay. Your healing does not need public approval. Some changes are sacred because they happen privately first. Let your growth be real, even if it is not understood. Practice receiving. If you have spent years giving, fixing, helping, and holding everything together, receiving may feel strange. But you are allowed to receive care. You are allowed to receive rest. You are allowed to receive kindness. You are allowed to receive support without feeling guilty. A heart that only gives can become tired. This season may be teaching you balance. Let life give to you in simple ways. Let a kind word reach you. Let peace enter. Let help be accepted. Practice hope, but let it be a calm hope. Not the kind of hope that begs. Not the kind of hope that lives in denial. Calm hope says, I do not know the full path, but I believe my life can still open. Calm hope says, I have been through difficult things, but I am still here. Calm hope says, the future does not need to look like the past. This kind of hope does not rush. It does not force. It simply keeps a light on inside you. What you practice now becomes the energy you carry next. If you practice fear, fear grows. If you practice self-kindness, self-kindness grows. If you practice trust, trust grows. If you practice gratitude, gratitude grows. If you practice peace, peace grows. This season is not only asking you to wait for change, it is asking you to become part of the change. Your daily choices are shaping your inner world, and your inner world will shape how you enter the next chapter. One day, you may look back at this season and see it differently. What feels confusing now may make sense later. What feels like a delay now may reveal itself as protection. What feels like loss now may become the space where peace entered. What feels like silence now may become the place where you finally heard your own soul. You may not understand every part today, but that does not mean this season has no meaning. There are moments in life that feel like endings, but they are really turning points. At the time, they may feel painful. They may bring tears, questions, and lonely nights. They may make you wonder why things had to change, but later, you may see that those moments helped you become honest. They helped you stop chasing what was never giving you peace. They helped you release the old belief that you had to suffer to be worthy. They helped you return to yourself. This season is teaching you something because you are ready to grow beyond the old pattern. If you were not ready, the lesson would not be rising so clearly. The discomfort, the delay, the closed door, the repeated signs, the quiet pull within you, all of it is part of a deeper awakening. You are being asked to see your life with new eyes. You are being asked to trust that what leaves can make room. You are being asked to understand that your worth does not disappear when life becomes uncertain. You may have wanted a quick answer, but this season is giving you something deeper. It is giving you self-awareness. It is giving you patience. It is giving you courage. It is giving you the chance to stop betraying yourself. It is giving you the chance to choose peace before everything outside of you is perfect. That is a rare kind of strength. Many people wait for life to become easy before they decide to feel safe. But you are learning how to build safety within yourself, even while life is still unfolding. This season may be teaching you that you are stronger than the story you told yourself. You may have believed you could not survive the change. You may have believed you could not let go. You may have believed you could not stand on your own. But here you are, still breathing, still learning, still feeling, still growing. That matters. Even if your steps are small, they are still steps. Even if your heart is tender, it is still open. Even if you do not know the full path, you are still being guided. Do not shame yourself for needing time. Do not shame yourself for feeling deeply. Do not shame your self for not having every answer yet. A sacred season cannot always be rushed. Some lessons must unfold slowly because they are changing the way you see yourself. This is not only about one problem, one door, one relationship, or one dream. This is about the way you live inside your own heart. This is about becoming a person who no longer abandons themselves when life becomes hard. You are learning to stop asking the outside world to decide your value. You are learning to stop waiting for another person to make you feel chosen. You are learning to stop measuring your life by speed. You are learning to stop holding on to what keeps hurting you. You are learning to stop fearing the silence. These lessons may not be easy, but they are freeing. Every lesson is helping you come back into your own power. The season may still feel heavy, but heaviness is not the whole story. Beneath the heaviness, something is shifting. Beneath the waiting, something is forming. Beneath the loss, something is clearing. Beneath the silence, something is speaking. Beneath the discomfort, something is healing. You may not see the full result yet, but inner change often begins before outer change appears. Do not dismiss your growth just because it is quiet. There is a version of you being formed in this season who will not need to chase peace. This version will choose it. This version will not beg for love that keeps causing pain. This version will recognize what feels aligned. This version will listen to the body, trust the heart, and speak with more kindness. This version will still be human, still learning, still growing, but more honest and more rooted than before. That is what this season is shaping. This season is not empty. It is not meaningless. It is not here only to slow you down or make you question your path. It is teaching you how to listen, how to release, how to trust, and how to return to yourself. It is showing you what can no longer come with you. It is showing you where your heart needs care. It is showing you how powerful your thoughts are. It is showing you that guidance can be quiet and still be real. The universe may be teaching through delay, through silence, through discomfort, through endings, and through small signs that only your heart can understand. Do not ignore them. Do not rush past them. Do not call this season a failure just because it does not look the way you planned. There is wisdom here. There is growth here. There is preparation here. You do not need to have the whole answer today. You only need to take the next honest step. Choose one kinder thought. Choose one peaceful action. Choose one boundary that protects your energy. Choose one moment of gratitude. Choose one breath of trust. Small choices, repeated with love, can change the direction of your life. What feels heavy now may one day become the reason you became free. What feels slow now may become the reason you were ready. What feels like a closed door now may become the reason you found a better path. This season is not the end of your story. It is a sacred part of your becoming. And even now, even here, life is teaching you how to rise with a softer heart, a clearer mind, and a deeper trust in the path ahead.